Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm up from my nap, and everybody wants to know about this Tyrese thing. Why I haven't spoken on it really when Tyrese went and did his live, and all of these things that's been transpiring between him and DJ Envy and this whole big thing, because I like to let things kind of play out before I respond. It's not always about being first. Some people do that. They want to hit some views. That's cool. I like to give you a more concise bit of information. Unless it's just too hot. It's just burning up, and then we gotta go right away. But this isn't, no, right? So we can take this as it comes. Now, what's up, Mr. Jenkins? Now, this is going to be very interesting, people, as you're seeing something that you probably never expected to happen in probably anybody's creation. Now, if you don't know the story, Tyrese helped DJ Envy when he got caught cheating, trying to be a player with Erica Mena, of all people. Somebody I tried to warn Safari about, but that's another video. Now, here we are. DJ Envy. While going through this, Tyrese explained his whole situation of how he came there. Envy wrote about it in the book. Him and the wife put the book out, how Tyrese came and serenaded them. He set up the stage. Why was Tyrese able to do this for DJ Envy? She would contact Tyrese and talk to Tyrese when she wasn't talking to her husband. Why would she do that? This is when you messed up, of course. And he came and serenaded and sung. She was in love with his songs. And her favorite song he sung. So they start working on their marriage together. And he credits Tyrese for this whole layout, right? Then Tyrese goes on this, people said he was nuts, he was crazy. They didn't understand what was going on with him. He was on this rampage, or what people want to call it, but let's listen to Sensei Ty. After he goes on the Breakfast Club, after all these years, he goes on the Breakfast Club and he's feeling bitter because DJ Envy was doing this. And this is where the problem lies with me with Envy. I think both sides are at fault, if you want to know where I stand. Both sides are at fault. Envy is a weak individual. Okay? He's like Q said, simp gods. He's one of the simp gods. For real. He's sitting there being a simp. His entire life, he handled the situation like a simp would do. Instead of confronting Tyrese like any other husband would do in a situation they felt was a certain way. What he did was cower and act like a simp. Other people would come on the show and then he would bring Tyrese's name. Tank was on there. He wants to bring up Tyrese. Ludacris is up there. He want to bring up Tyrese. Any way he can find to bring Tyrese's name up in the situation. What's going on, Tyrese, man? And just clowning him on his show, using his platform as a weapon. Then he had him up there, said nothing about this in the whatever before they went live and started recording. And right away, boom, he comes and says all this like, I want to box your mouth. You know, like, that's a punk move. That's a simp. I didn't respect the move. What he was saying and all of that, that may have been true. I did know Tyrese was on some meds and all that, but that's just vintage Tyrese to me. I mean, you could say that's the drugs and all that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Because it's time that the people know and hear people out for the way they conduct themselves. For sure. For sure. Real spill. Oh, the whole world should know right now. Well, Zeno know a little backstory about a lot of this stuff, you know. So this is why you're here. So let's get into Ty and what Ty said. Here we go.
Throughout the interview, according to he went
in the interview, but I literally just had to pull up some receipts, and I had to go and look at my phone and say, when is the last time we were actually communicating? And does anything about our communication feel like I actually disrespected his wife or him? Because whether I was on psych meds or not, you're not describing me. You're not describing me as a man. That was the most hurtful thing ever. Charlamagne said, well, what did he say? Want to box you in the mouth. Hee hee ha ha. So listen, I'm not going to show y'all what we were texting about. I just want to show you the death. That says DJ Envy wife, DJ Envy, mission. Right? That's when I was on a mission to help in any way I could to step in and help his marriage. And then, if you look here, that says August 23rd, 2022. This is a text chain with me, Envy, and his wife. Not 2017, 2018, where I supposedly disrespected his wife and I was blocked. I got receipts. If your wife blocked me, if you blocked me, how are we communicating about anything? August 23rd, 2022. Now, let's go a little further. Here is some communication directly with your first lady. Okay? The last thing we were texting about was we were actually trying to figure out, because I told y'all I've been very uncomfortable about talking about what God used me to do and blah, blah, blah. Like, I did it as from my heart. I didn't know him. I don't have a history. He ain't my brother. We ain't family. We ain't childhood homies. So it was such a random assignment, and I ended up doing it. But for him to go on the airwaves and say, I wanted to box you in the mouth because you disrespected my wife blocked you, I blocked you, and I just unblocked you a month ago. That's a fucking lie, bro.
I believe it.
That is a lie.
That is a lie.
Look at this, man.
That is a lie.
Me and your wife were communicating August 11th, 2022. August 11th, 2012. Look, I said something that was 7 hours and 3 8. She said, without fail. Like, I got receipts. I'm sending images of my new Rolls Royce to your wife. Like, I know y'all always got nice cars and this and that. Like, if she blocked me, if I actually disrespected her, as you allege, and you felt the way, how are we communicating August 22nd, 2023?
How is that?
It's bullshit, bro. Like, that's like, look what your wife just texted back and said. Absolutely beautiful. Talking about me purchasing an island in Turks and Caicos. That was August 23rd, 2023. Come on, man. And the last time that all three of us was on the text chain, we were actually going back and forth trying to figure out when can we finally do an IG live with all three of us finally talking about what God put on my heart to do on behalf of the marriage. So I'm going to ask you, sir, since all of this is played out for the public, did I disrespect your wife? Or did I not? Because why would your wife be communicating and responding with me with all the good energy that it's always been? And why would you be communicating with me and your wife on a text chain? And why am I texting you directly and you're responding? There is no problem. There is no disrespect. Just be a man and say, when you went through the same shit that I was going through, I just needed an out. I needed to just like, yo, I'm not fucking with none of that. Just say it. And then here's the last thing that nobody knows. When I had my psych med meltdown, it was around 2017 because I woke up to the news September 11th. And probably like a month later is when this goofy ass psychiatrist gave me the psych med saying it's going to help you to calm down and stabilize your mood, and it fucked me up. The psych med episode had already came and went. Me and my ex were still together over a year and a half after the whole thing went down. Me, you, and your wife have been on calls. We've been texting. We've been communicating. And we've been good. So for you to say, I stopped fucking with you because you disrespected my wife, and my wife blocked you and I blocked you, and we just wasn't fucking with you, and every time you came to Atlanta and you texted me like, yo, pull up to the crib. You know why I was inviting you to the crib? I was inviting you to the crib because you were in town DJing. I wasn't inviting you to the crib to hash out no issues about me disrespecting your wife, because I never disrespected your wife. You never said I disrespected her. She never said. It's a lie. Just be a man and be honest and say you went above and beyond for me out of the goodness of your heart. And I didn't have it in me, nor did she, to step up and help you when you was in the middle of a crisis. Y'all could have flew to Atlanta. Your first lady could have pulled my ex-wife to the side and had 5-6 lunches and dinners and did whatever she had to do to try and get her to stay committed to the marriage. You could have pulled me to the side and had conversations with me. You could have did anything. And even if you had attempted to help, she would have still made her decision and say, no, I'm out. I praise God every day that something that God put on my heart to say to you and your wife actually helped y'all in any way I could. But let's not be out here lying and creating characteristics in a man that ain't there, bro.
Now, listening to that is powerful, ain't it? Because he brought up a lot of points. And because he brought up a lot of points, I can't help but mention them and bring them up. He brought up a lot of issues that Simp Man, Mr. Envy, didn't address. Why would you be communicating with this guy and saying that he want to hash out some beef because he knew and all of this stuff, and he knows why we're beefing? We know he knows why we're beefing. Show the text messages that you text Tyrese and told him, yo, man, I'm going to speak to you. Yo, man, I don't like the way you just spoke to my wife, so I'm going to fall back. You text my wife inappropriately. You never said nothing. She never said nothing. So if you felt that that was the case, why wouldn't you let him know? Because you're a coward, Envy. You're a coward. And that's why you did it on that show, because you feel that's your safe place and that's your weapon. He can't jump up and come around here and smack me in the face. You use that show every time as your platform to attack people. You never told this man anything. Show us a text message of you texting Tyrese saying, Tyrese, I'm not talking to you no more. I don't want you. I'm cutting you off, bro, because I don't like where this energy coming from. You sat there on the show and said, you right. I didn't do what I should have did. You know, I should have reached out, but I didn't want to see that. The person that was acting like that, that wasn't my brother. So I didn't do that. But don't go on the show and talk tough like I wanted to box your mouth. If you wanted to box his mouth, why didn't you send a message to him? He was inviting you to come to his house and all of this. Y'all was talking to this man after the fact. Years after the fact, y'all are still texting and DMing, and the wife is still sending him messages. Why is that? He just showed just a year ago, y'all texting and DMing and texting and DMing, three-way chains. She sent your new number to him. I'm not going to play the whole Tyrese thing because it's long. But you get the point. You didn't say anything. If a text came in that was inappropriate, where's you telling Tyrese that? Where's your wife telling Tyrese that it was inappropriate? You might as well expose that. So in case you don't know, DJ Envy decided after he heard all of this I'm going to have to address this. This is Envy's play. So DJ Envy brings his wife on the show, so his wife can clear the air about everything that went down.
Got back home, maybe he read the comments, maybe social media, whatever it was. He got into a fit, and one post he started crying and said, we don't respect his mental. And then yesterday, he did a whole long video and he called me a liar.
But for him
to issue on his wife. And I actually texted him and I said, good morning. No, I'm passing on this. I prayed on it, wasn't in the card. Stay blessed, have an amazing day. Right?
Okay.
On a group text, and I never replied because I didn't see it. He did speak to my wife, and he wanted me and my wife to go on live, and he wanted to ish on his ex Samantha. He wanted to ish on his wife. And I actually texted him and I said, good morning. No, I'm passing on this. I prayed on it, wasn't in the card. Stay blessed, have an amazing day. Right? Because I didn't want to be a part of him ishing on his wife. Right? So then he said I was lying and he never said anything disrespectful to my wife. Well, what he actually did was, when they were talking, he was one of those dudes, and we all know that guy that tries to plant those seeds. If you had a man like me, it would have went down like that. I would have never. And I never said anything. I'm going to tell you why I never said anything. I never said anything because, yes, Tyrese was there, and he did help save my marriage.
Oh, so now Tyrese did save the marriage, right? Tyrese, no, DJ Envy is a cop. Absolutely. His You got to understand, DJ Envy's father was a police officer. So DJ Envy had a cop's pass where he couldn't even get ticketed. So he could run red lights, anything. All he does is show that pass and he gets away. And he abused that a lot. There was a lot of times he's about to get jumped. Police came and did a lot. Yeah, he's been considered to be a rat in a lot of situations. You saw what happened to Star. You know, he's sitting in Star's chair right now for iHeartRadio. But that's beside the point. We're getting off track. Let's stay where we are now. So now Envy is saying that, yes, he did text, but he didn't get it because he blocked him without informing him that he's blocked. But he's still in the chain. So on Tyrese's side, he sees all the wife's texts, but Envy doesn't get them because now he said, I just recently unblocked him.
And I was like, I just don't want to ish on that. So I just kept it quiet and I just stepped away from him.
See, he stepped away from him, but your wife gave Tyrese your new phone number. You and Tyrese started texting again. Your wife gave him your new number. So if your wife had a problem with something he said, now you're saying that he was trying to plant seeds. This is why. So let's see what happens.
Because it's difficult because you have somebody that helped, but then you also have somebody that's trying to hurt. Mm-hmm. But me and my wife accepted the help side, and he opened us up to a place where, you know, we were able to fix our relationship and fix our marriage. And our marriage is even stronger now.
Yeah, it's stronger now because you're submissive to whatever she wants. But that's beside the point.
Anything to anybody that he flirted with my wife. What does that text say?
I'm not reading this.
It says, yo.
Now he's finna bring up a text. DJ Envy is finna bring up a text message, people. Now, you guys are gonna hear this and probably be a little surprised in a minute. But hold on. Let's go.
Somebody that works for Tyrese. You see that text? Now, I never mentioned anything to anybody that he flirted with my wife. What does that text say?
I'm not reading this.
It says, yo, DJ Envy blessings. Stay away from Tyrese, bro. He tried to destroy my marriage and career. He will do the same to y'all. Please, I'm open to talk to you. I'm not trying to gain anything from this. I'm just sick of the devil, and I refuse to know what I know and not tell good people what's up with that cat. Please stay away. He will try and get your wife. What's the date of that?
July 8, 2022.
July 8, 2022. So that.
So
Actually said, please stay away. He would try to get you anyway.
Right. Sure. But that just shows.
Charlamagne just likes to play gay jokes in the situation. But as you guys just heard, right? Now, you guys just heard that. Now, let me tell you some information. What he's speaking on is actually a truth. I do believe Tyrese was trying to plant seeds to get in there and get Envy's wife. I do, because he's done that stuff before. I'm serious. The person that's texting him, I know who that is. The person text, he just said, I know who that person is. I know why they sent it. I know the whole ordeal. And Tyrese did some very snake things to try and get with that man's wife. I 100% believed it all because it was true. Oh, yes. So, like I told you, some of this is true and some of it is fiction. Remember what I said? They're both lying. Both sides are at fault. Both sides are at fault. In this whole ordeal. This goes out. Remember, after the fact, when he was bringing up those messages, he just told you, DJ Envy told you, that was July. He got that message July of 2022, right? Near July 22nd, 2022. And Tyrese just showed you they were in communication with him in August. Now, what happened prior to the fact, y'all? The person that sent that message that you just heard Envy talking about was the husband, right? And that husband name is D Rose. D Rose is an R&B singer and writer and performer. D Rose sent that to DJ Envy. In my opinion. I know it's D Rose. Me and D Rose is cool. We follow each other on IG. The whole nine. See, this is what somebody can't tell you who don't know what really was going down. D Rose's wife was an artist that was developed and being helped by someone who was she thought was trying to be her mentor and help her out in her career. Tyrese signed his wife to his label and was developing her, right? Her name is Crystal. And I'm finna let you guys see what we all spoke about. I made the video. Let's play it up.
And I'm just gonna be real and 100. I ain't gonna be long-winded. I'm not gonna be long-winded with y'all. I'm just gonna touch on a couple facts so that we're clear. And so that y'all understand that there's no lies being told over here.
This is the regular PG version.
Okay.
To this.
So I went into
the Patreon version is way worse
with Tyrese.
It is
with an open mind. You know, I felt like he was really genuine initially about working with me, doing a project with me. If y'all don't know, no, this is D Rose, the singer. if y'all don't know, I've known Tyrese for years, like since I was a teenager. He's always been like a big brother to me. And that's real. He's always been like a big brother to me. We had a mishap, not really a mishap, but we had a kind of a back and forth in Miami at one point before even signing with him, where he kind of came off left to me in a club in Miami, like, you know, you ain't my little, I mean, you done got older, you ain't like my little sister no more. And I had to go to the big homies that know us and have them to check him, because I kind of felt disrespected, because he's always been like a brother to me. I've never looked at him in any other way, never been attracted to him in any other way. He was just my brother. So anyway, he approached me about working with me solo and doing a project with me solo. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. He was very persistent about working with me. And I'm like, cool, let's just see where this goes. So we started working. I'm gonna shorten it down for you. We started working. I go out to LA, we start working. But I noticed that a lot of the mutual friends we have that are in the business, as far as writers, I'm talking about Grammy winning writers and producers, they didn't want to come around. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm reaching out to everybody like, hey, and I ain't gonna say no names on here, but I'm reaching out like, hey, can you come through? You know, we're working on a project. This is what we have in mind. And nobody wanted to come and work with him. We love you, Crystal, but you know, if you know him, then you know him. Then you know what I'm saying. Nobody wanted to come and work with him, but obviously because he has a reputation. So I said to him, listen, I got my own team at home, a writer and a producer. We can get this done. We can get this album done in 2 weeks. First red flag. He only brought the producer out. He did not bring D-Rose out, which was the first red flag. Because I'm like, okay, well, maybe he feels like there's other writers that maybe can, you know, get the job done. But again, nobody was coming through to get the job done. I wasn't really trying to even write. I'm like, look, I'm here to sing. Let's just do what we gotta do. So the producer comes out, and I won't say his name. The producer comes out, and there's this weird vibe, like, you know, I ain't bringing him out. The other guy. Eventually, D-Rose ended up having a meeting in LA. He ends up coming out anyway. Okay? Second red flag. He didn't want me and D-Rose together at his house. Weird. Was also weird to his then girlfriend, who said, what's the problem? That's her husband. They're married. What's the problem? Long story short, D-Rose came in. Okay, he cool now, he cool, whatever. He comes in, smashes. Okay, let's be clear. Came in, smashed. Wrote some amazing records that are still amazing to this day. He loved them. It was all good. We were working. But like I said, there was a weird vibe.
Hit the like button.
Because, you know, why you feel some type of way about my husband coming, whatever. Now, mind you, I've been with the same guy since I've known Reese. I've been with the same guy. So I didn't understand what his problem was, unless there was something underlying. I don't know. I didn't care, because that ain't what I'm there for. I'm there to work. Okay, so we get that done. We go home. Okay, we basically get an album done in 2 weeks. He contacted me later and said, hey, I'm gonna be in Atlanta. This is when they were shooting the other movie. Come down. At the same time, I was shooting a documentary. We were shooting a documentary of my life and what I've been through so far in the business. came down. He said, "Oh, you know, bring D Rose." D Rose didn't even want to come, because mind you, D Rose don't be in my business. See, that's a lot of people get things twisted. Okay, D Rose don't be in my business. He doesn't care to be in my business unless somebody putting their hands on me or somebody disrespecting me. He don't get involved in my business.
There
That's
is a
not the type of guy
Patreon
he
vote
is.
version.
A lot of people have some messed up ideas of who he is and how he is. It's not at all how he is. He really didn't even want to be involved. But I'm like, nah, just come. You know what I'm saying? He said, nah, come on, man. You know, I don't care. I don't care if a dog write the hits. We got to get the hits. You know what I'm saying? And you've been producing the hits. You've been producing the hits. That's just the bottom line. So he was shooting Fast and Furious. Okay. We were shooting the documentary at the same time, traveling up and down the road from Atlanta to North Carolina. In short, that's what we were doing. D Rose wrote the majority of the records that were being produced down in Atlanta. Okay, now at this point, we're talking about what we wanted to look like, what we wanted to sound like. This is when I started feeling a little weird, I gotta say it, a little dictatorship energy. Because when I came into it, the understanding was, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna work as a team. We're gonna work as a team. Yes, I was married to him then when he said that. But we're gonna work as a team. You know what I mean? I want to make your dreams come true. I want to know your vision. I want to know what you want. And this was the first time that I was actually getting a chance to do what I wanted to do, to sound how I wanted to sound. I'm talking about incredible records. With credit to the writers that did come through, because I asked them to come through. A couple new writers he introduced me to, which we became really great friends, really close friends. Not gonna say no names, they know who they are. We became really close, good energy. The only negative energy that was ever felt was from him. Everything that I'm speaking right now is the truth, so I'm not worried about anybody saying that I'm saying anything that's not true. It's all the truth. And it's all the truth. It's all the truth because not only is it the truth, but I got people to say it's the truth. There's people on my side. This was my solo record. This is before June's Diary. So, blood, sweat, and tears. We working on this album. We getting shit done. We getting things done. It's looking good. It's sounding good. We got great pictures. Started to feel a little weird energy about, well, this is the picture and this is the song and I'm like, oh, this ain't what we talked about. But I'm gonna be cool, because that's who I am. I'm not hard to work with. Cool. Let's just get it done, man. Let's just work. Mind you, during this time, he's taking my husband. They going to get their feet done. You know, he's taking them with him, hanging out with him. And then I found out later, because my husband came to me and told me, you know, he's trying to get me to holler at some women while I'm with him. And I'm like, dude, like, have you seen my wife? I'm good. But I go talk to her for you if you want to talk to her. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's supposed to be like my brother. Like, why would he do that?
Why would you think?
If anything, he should be checking my husband, like, hey, you know, if it was something weird going on, you're supposed to be my brother. Then another red flag proceeds to pull me into the room and ask me, are y'all married in real life? Are y'all really married for real? Yes, we're really married for real. Y'all married on paper? Yeah, we're married on paper. Do you have a prenup? What? No, I don't have a prenup. What do I need a prenup for? Oh, he might try to ride your coattail. Ride my coattail. This is the man that brought me into the music business. This is the man that introduced me to the music business. This is the man that put his career on hold to help me get into the music business. ride my coattail. If he was gonna ride, he can ride all the damn way, if you ask me. Because he's been good to me. He's been good to me. He's been good to my family. He ain't never put his hands on me. He ain't never disrespected me. So if that was the case, and I let him know, if he wanted to ride, he can ride. He's here. He's doing the work. We're getting it done because of him. He's a big part of this, as well as some other people who were a part of it that I appreciate, that I did continue to make friends with and do business with and work with, because they were good people outside of him. Now, what he do in his personal life ain't none of my damn business. We're working together. We have business together. What you do on your off time with your girlfriend or not your girlfriend, it's not my business. I knew his girlfriend at the time. It wasn't my business to tell his girlfriend, oh, well, when you're out of town, he got somebody else here. That's not my business. But now you're in my personal business. The only way that you need to be worried about my personal business is if my personal business is affecting our business. My personal business ain't never affected our business. We did good music from morning to night, every day. So all these red flags now are going off. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. This feels weird. This is like, I don't know. Like, I ain't really feeling this. We really trying to make it work. We got a lot of people here. We got a lot of people in this house. We got a lot of people that's working. We got a lot of people that's saying they ain't getting their money. We got a lot of people that's saying they ain't getting paid for stuff that they doing. Again, I don't have nothing to do with that. But I'm the artist here. I'm the one in the middle. So people are coming to me and saying stuff. I can't give them an answer. I don't run his bank account. I don't know what he's doing or not doing. It's not my business. So now, during this time, he had interns working at the house. Okay, these are people who are trying to, maybe come into the music business, and he's giving them an opportunity to be around it, run errands, do things that he needs done, do things that I need done, whatever. I became very close to these, mostly young ladies. We became really cool. At one point, D Rose had his group, Metal Rose, the other members came and actually visited the house. I think maybe a couple of days. They came down, along with a couple of executives, along with a couple other artists. We're playing the music. The vibe is good. The vibe is cool. I'm still in the back of my mind, like, this is kind of weird, but I'm going along with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I don't give up. Let's just see it through. At the end of the process, we sit down at the table to talk about publishing, because that's what you do when you finish doing a project. Okay, we're gonna sit down at the table and we're gonna talk about who wrote what, who gets what percentage of what. And he was always very quick to say, I don't never want credit for nothing I ain't do. I don't want credit for shit I didn't do. Cool. I love that. That's what I like to hear. I don't want nobody taking credit for something they didn't do. We sit down at the table along with some of my other friends at this point, because we're friends. We start writing down the numbers. And we write down the numbers, and D Rose had a very big chunk of the album, publishing wise. A very big chunk. Okay? We were working our ass off. I'm talking about, I ain't never drunk so many 5-hour energies in my life, because we just wanted to get it done. We were working day in and day out. I'm telling this story because people need to know the truth, because a lot of people have misconceptions and a lot of people assume things. And I don't want people assuming. I want people to know the truth. So we sit down at that table, publishing is there. He says to me, your husband can't write the whole album. What you mean? Well, your husband can't write the whole album. I thought you said you don't care if a dog write the hit. What are we talking about? All the songs are bangers. D Rose even got a major executive to come to the house that didn't want to come to the house because of Reese. Nah, I ain't trying to fool her. D Rose talked to me and said, man, just come on and see what we're doing, man. A big time executive. I ain't gonna say his name. Big time executive. Long time friend. So your husband can't write the whole album. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. What do you mean he can't write the whole album? These are all the songs we've been bobbing your head to. What's the problem? That was weird. So that was a red flag. Well, what if y'all fall out? What if something happened between y'all? Then we got to deal with this. I can't sign him. I can't have him. What does that matter? We working. Everybody in here working. If you want a bigger percentage, come in there and work. He was doing what he needed to do. He was getting it done. We were making it happen. He felt some type of way about it. And I knew it, and we all felt it. We all felt it at that table. Not just me. Don't get me wrong, listen, I'm a very appreciative person. And coming into it, I was very grateful for what he was offering me. But as time went on, I started to feel like, I don't know, maybe this is not for the right reasons. I don't know. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. I'm not gonna tell y'all every single thing. I'm gonna save some because there's more. But there's little things he would do and say in between, little comments he would make. It was like, that's weird. Don't do that. Don't say that. I don't know if it was a jealousy about the publishing. I don't know if he had an issue with D Rose because he sang his face off. We had an event there one night, and D Rose was in there singing and killing it, and the cameraman was there, and he had the camera in his face, and he disappears, and we see him go upstairs, and he tells him, "Take the camera off that hot singing ass nigga." What? What's the problem? Then he laughed it off like it was a joke, but he definitely was serious. He definitely was serious. We all felt it. We all looked at each other like,
Hit the like button.
That was weird.
Like it up.
So let's close that chapter up. We finish up in Atlanta. Mind you, I have a state-of-the-art studio in Charlotte, North Carolina, where sometimes I would record records that he needed me to record or wanted me to record that came from other people that just to save money. I mean, if I don't gotta fly to LA to record, if I ain't gotta come to Atlanta to record and I can record right there where I was living, it made sense. It made money sense. So he sends me a record and says, this is what, how many months later? 8 months later. Well, I got this record. Okay, we all had a record in mind for the first single. So I'm like, what are we doing? What's going on? Like, look, what we doing? Well, I got this record. The record was very reminiscent to the record that we wanted to go for as the single that D wrote. He wrote the whole record by himself. This was one of many he wrote by himself. He wrote a bunch of them with a lot of other writers, but this is one of the many he wrote by himself. And everybody was in agreement that this record was the record we needed to go with. Well, I got this record. I think you need to do it. So he sends me the record. I'm like, this sounds just like such and such. Nah, but it's better. It's not, but okay. Hey, listen, I'm open to recording it. Just send me how we need to do this. Like, just send me the files, whatever. Nah, I need you to come to LA to record it. Why? I mean, I got a studio right here. I don't have to fly all the way to LA to record a song. Nah, I need you to fly to LA, because I got some things that that we need to talk about. Some stuff we want to go over. I don't want this to just be a recording trip. I want this to be we're gonna talk about the video, the single, I'm going to have you meet with some executives, because at this time his label was not picked up by a major. He was independent. We're going to have a meeting with this big time choreographer. We're going to talk about what the video is going to look like. Okay, the video for what? Well, we'll discuss it all when you get here. Just come. And I want such and such the vocal producer. Now, mind you, I've worked with a lot of incredible vocal producers in my life. Okay, some of the best. D Rose is one of the top vocal producers I've ever worked with on my first hand. Okay. Why do you want them to vocal produce me when I know he gonna vocal produce me better? See, what a lot of people don't know about the business, and y'all probably know this, if y'all fans of mine, then y'all probably know this. A lot of people try to make me sound like Beyonce. Because they thought, oh, she sounds like Beyonce, let me have her sing like this and do like this. D Rose is the only person that really understood who I was as a vocalist. Mainly because a lot of it he taught me. So nobody knows my voice like he does. Now, I'm not saying, oh, he got to go everywhere I go. He got to do everything that I do. He got to, no, it's not even that. It's just, if we want the best out of this record, let's give it a run. Let's give it a run. Let me do it here. Let's have D Rose vocal produce it. Then I'll come there and we'll have whoever vocal produce it and we'll go from there. But I know the better outcome is going to be with him because he gets it. He understands. Now I just need you to come. And at the time, I'm going to need your manager to come. I'm going to need such and such to come. Okay, cool. Weird to me, but okay, cool. We want to just take this flight. I go out there. Let me get right to it. Because this is where the meat and potatoes start. I go out there. I don't feel comfortable staying at his house this time just because of things that has transpired. It feels weird. See, here's the thing, I wasn't an individual artist. I was a solo artist. I'm trying to read. I was a solo artist. So I go out there. I don't even feel comfortable at this point staying at his house. It was just too weird to me. I reached out to a good friend of mine that I had met previously in Vegas, working in Vegas. Reached out to her. She said, yeah, absolutely, come stay with me. An older woman that I look up to. I went and stayed at her house. Mind you, this is around my birthday. That's why I remember it so well. I go that next morning. I go to the studio. I record this record. All right, we need to get this meeting together. We skip to the meeting. Now, mind you, at the time, I was supposed to be actually getting another payment from the label for finishing this record or whatever, because I got stuck in stipend, little by little. He hits me up and says, oh, it's horrible. The record is horrible. You sounded horrible. Now, y'all know. Y'all know. I don't have no big head, but y'all know. On my worst day, I don't sound that bad. So I'm like, something is weird here. What you mean it's horrible? It sounds terrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Okay. Cool. Well, I think you just came out here to get the money. No, I came out here to work. Like, what you mean? I came out here to work. I think you just came to get the money. I have that proof as well that he said that to me. Sent me an email. We get to this meeting. My manager at the time is in this meeting. My good friend who I had just brought on board is in the meeting. She's never even met Tyrese. She don't even really know the situation. I'm just bringing her in to be my day-to-day because my big manager was super busy. So he just really handled all of the, the big stuff. I wanted her to come on day-to-day as a woman. So I said, this will be a great meeting for you to come to, girl. Come to the meeting. We're going to get filled in. We're getting ready to meet this choreographer. We're going to talk about this video. We're going to talk about how we're going to move forward. I'm excited. Like, finally, okay, we're taking another step forward. We get into this meeting. The first thing that he starts to talk about is my husband. But everything is super negative. Everything is super negative. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm confused. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what is the problem? I thought we came here to talk about moving forward with this project.
Yep.
Well, you know, at times called pool. He this, he that, it was all negative. And then I just asked him straight up, I said, do you have a problem with my husband? Like, what is the problem? He says, oh, nobody likes your husband. Okay. What's the problem? Why are we talking about him right now? Then at this point, he goes on to present to me this evidence. His manager at the time slides me over the laptop like, you need to see this. This is what your husband has been doing behind your back. Now, my first thought is, how the hell did y'all get these emails?
Tyrese.
Because the last time that I checked, going into someone's email is a crime. The next thing I thought is, if you my brother and you saw some shit that my husband was doing that was inappropriate, why you didn't go to my husband? Why you didn't check him as a man then? If I'm your little sister, why you didn't go to him and say, hey, bro, I found this crazy, like, we can't be dealing with this. Why didn't you do that as a man? Cause y'all were cool. He was cool enough for you to do things with, you know, on a daily basis, and y'all go out and hang out together or whatnot. So why couldn't you just go to him as a man and be like, look, dog, you can't be doing this, or whatever you say you found, why couldn't you do that? So that was my second thought. My next thought was, I felt attacked because we're here for a certain meeting and you're putting this in my face while this new person is sitting next to me, completely oblivious to anything about the situation. And this is the first look she gets at the situation, is you putting this in my face. For their relationship, because I don't know their relationship. I wasn't trying to reach out to her. What we were trying to do was reach out to him personally through some mutual friends, through a couple people we knew. And the feedback that we were getting was, I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about them. At one point, all I wanted was an apology.
Hit the like button.
All I wanted was an apology for what you did. Because it was wrong. All I wanted was an apology. You were supposed to be my brother. That's it. Apologize to me as your sister, and apologize to this man for getting in his business. And even going to make a big deal about it. But it's time out for the bullying. Yes, you're bullying. And then you go post something on your page today, like, oh, my lawyers don't play about. Your lawyers for what? Lawyers are for when people are telling lies. Lawyers are for when people do something wrong to you. They will protect me. Protect you from what? You're the one that's out here doing the damage. You're doing the damage, not us. There's no need for you to have a lawyer. For what? Everything that I've said, I have the proof to back it up. I have the conversations. I have the back and forth. I've spoken to the interns. I've spoken to people who you've talked to that say, we on y'all side, because it's wrong. And we'll say it, and we'll speak on it, and we'll back you up. It just blows my mind how I see somebody on social media playing a character. And I know that's not who they are. Karma is a bitch.
Now, we had to let that play out in full so you can get the whole gist of what's going on. Like I told you, we've been ahead of this thing. So when Envy's brought that up, that somebody emailed him and said this person was trying to sleep with my wife, that was D Rose. In my opinion, 100%, it was D Rose. Now, exactly. So he goes to bring his wife on the air.
To me, flirting with my wife, and he's doing it with you. He had no idea because I don't even know this gentleman.
I don't know why y'all didn't have that conversation when he was just up there.
Because
Exactly. Charlamagne brought up a point. I don't understand why y'all just didn't have this conversation when he was up here.
I didn't want to disrespect him. I was like, I'm just gonna tell him what it is and leave it at that.
I didn't want to disrespect him. This is somebody who, this is what I told you. Both men are at fault here. Now, you just heard this woman for about 20 minutes tell you the full story on what happened with her when she was signed to Tyrese's label and the fact she was married and Tyrese continually have a problem with her husband. When his girlfriend was like, what the hell is wrong with you? She's married. Why you don't want them hanging out together? Obviously, he was trying to hit. So when he starts talking about he was trying to flirt with my wife,
he apologized and he said it was the psych meds. Remember you?
Calling up the wife.
Yes, you are. You're on the radio. Tyrese is calling me a liar. For people that don't know, I stopped talking to Tyrese, and there was a reason why I stopped talking to Tyrese. Not because only did I think he was a bozo and full of vision, but also because of the way that I felt he was talking and conducting business with his wife. So I'm going to step back and I want to show.
He's a mob. You say it's in the movie industry as well. Of course, this happens all the time. But it depends on what kind of husband you are. See, this is why I say it's both guys' fault. But I'm going to let the wife, let's hit it with the wife got to say.
Okay. Good morning. This is a conversation between a husband and a wife, and why the husband stopped talking to somebody and why the wife stopped talking to somebody. So the husband and wife can have a conversation. I'm sitting back watching the Casey Crew live. Go.
Right. This is a husband and wife situation. He tried to get Charlamagne to go and get involved in this. Charlamagne like, no, I'm sitting back. I don't want no parts of this.
Good question. So, babe, this is for people that don't know. Tyrese helped save our relationship when we were going through probably our lowest point, and I cheated. Tyrese came in and really helped us and guided us through our relationship. Correct? Yes, he did. Absolutely. And then we got to a point where we stopped talking to Tyrese. I even blocked Tyrese. And I wanted to box his mouth, as I said the other day. And can you explain to the people why we stopped talking to Tyrese?
Why we stop talking to Tyrese. So if you stop talking to Tyrese, it don't seem like it if Tyrese still got the text messages and y'all going back and forth. Your wife is still communicating with him. So I don't know where's this we stop talking to Tyrese situation come from, because she's obviously going back and forth with him just a year ago. And what you talking about, the issue is from 2017. So it don't seem like your wife stopped talking to him. You see what I'm saying? So we'll let it go.
Well, we stopped talking to Tyrese on 2 different occasions. Once, many years ago, when he did do that amazing thing for us, he and I became friends, and we were very, very cool, and we spoke often. And a lot of times you'd be laying in the bed next to me while I was talking to him, and at first everything was cool, but for me, it got to a point where it became inappropriate and uncomfortable, where I felt as though lines were being crossed. And you felt as though lines were being crossed, and we both decided that we were going to take a step back. And, there was times where I felt like he was extremely demanding of my time and of my attention, where if I didn't give him my time and my attention, he would get very angry, get very upset, and let me know what his expectations were of me. And, at that time, I didn't feel as though he was going through any mental issues. I didn't feel as though he was facing any mental challenges at that time. I know that he does go through things, and I know that he has been on medication, but at that time I felt as though he was very clear-minded and everything seemed cool. But when I started to feel uncomfortable and you started to feel uncomfortable, we took a step back.
Well, what lines you cross? People will be like, well, what lines did you cross?
I don't really feel comfortable being specific, because at the same time, I still do have a respect for him. I know that you still do have a respect for him. I would feel more comfortable just being general and saying that, there was flirting and inappropriate compliments for one who's married.
Okay.
So, flirting and compliments, and I believe Tyrese did all of it. I believe he did every last bit of what she's saying. But here's where the confusion comes in at. Now, we just saw 20 minutes to show you that this is not an isolated incident with Black Ty. This has been going on for a while, where he gives these mixed signals to try to be the big brother, to see what he could do here. But as I told you, this plays a lot on the husband. What type of husband are you? What type, and thank you guys for hitting the like button too. And all you guys who newly subscribed, you should have been subscribed, but thank you anyway for coming on board. Make sure you hit the all notifications so you can get all the notifications when or if they ever go out. Now, yes, there's a Patreon version of what happened with the girl, the chick over there. Yeah, the Patreon version was way harder. If I'd have showed that here, we would have been totally flagged for about 50 million different things. Now, yeah, because he knew, see, these kind of guys, they know the type of husbands they can pull it with. If your husband's an alpha, a big alpha dog, who in the you ain't finna pull it with him. Tyrese knew what he could do with Envy. He helped him in a situation, but if they gotten back together or not, he know I'm in good here with her. She gonna be on my side. He's grooming her. You see, I need your time. And if you ain't got time to make for me, he places himself at the victim and get angry. So that see if how she's gonna respond to that. Like, I'm sorry, I'll be there. I'm sorry, I had things to do. He's conditioning her and grooming her to how he wants to be treated. He has to come first. See, this is a mentality of people who are dominant and controlling and want to suppress people and keep them under their thumb. That's that real sensitive behavior. It's all in his music. Now, here's the problem on Envy's side, from not just being a simp alone, but because he's a simp, him and the wife never said anything to Tyrese. They never sent him any message saying, hey, I don't appreciate this flirting. I think you're crossing the line. They never said any of this to him. So, of course, he's saying you lying because she never told him that. She never said one word to Tyrese that she was uncomfortable. This is like going over the line. This is it. You never said nothing to him. So when Tyrese comes out and make a video, said, you're lying. You guys was just talking to me just last year, which you was. You guys never stated that there was a problem. The only problem that was is him having a problem with y'all. Because he felt like I was going through what I was going through and y'all didn't reach out to me and none, y'all just threw me to the side. He had no idea that y'all was taking what he was doing, those little flirty things he was saying to her. That was the reason y'all pulled back. You never had a conversation with Tyrese about that. You tried to ambush him on the Breakfast Club and you still didn't bring that up. You didn't bring anything to his face. The time he said it today on the Breakfast Club is the first time he's heard it. That's simple shit. Anybody out here married, anybody out here who got a woman, anybody dating a relationship, period, if a man was flirting with your woman like that, he's gonna know. He's gonna know. He screwed up. Envy should have been a man. And he didn't have to be public. He could have did a text message if he felt comfortable doing that way. But you check him and say, bro, enough's enough. You going over the line, bro. You don't talk to my wife like that. Look, I appreciate what you did, helping us get back together and stuff, but this ain't helping. You know what I'm saying? Look, you better press your brakes now. I don't ever want to have this conversation with you again. I mean, for real, like it's going there. You got to check stuff at the door, bro. So a lot of this is on you, Envy. They see you and they go, oh, I can do whatever I want. You know why? Because you wrote a book. You let your wife basically write the book. And she made you look like a complete simp all through the book. It was bad, y'all. It was extremely bad. It was nothing positive in that book whatsoever. He had to do it. He didn't want that book to come out. As sensitive as he is, no. He did not want that book to come out. That's what simps do. Oh, I'm going to get on to him later. we got a Patreon version coming out that's going to be talking about Envy and his wife. So that's just so that y'all know. Soft as baby it. He's soft. Weaker than wet tissue. That boy is soft. Now, Envy is the only one that really wants his wife, but he is one of those guys. You know those guys that always think somebody wants their wife? That's him. Envy's one of those guys. I never forget there was a dude who thought I wanted his wife. And I'm like, what? We was at a Christmas. He's like, you was flirting with my wife. I'm like, he's like, no, it's cool. You know, I don't blame you. I'm just saying, but you were drunk, man. You were flirting with my wife. I'm like, flirting with your wife? Then I saw the pictures come out with him and his wife. I was like, I wouldn't ask her for directions if she knew where to go. Oh, God. Her teeth was like black and brown. She didn't look like anything, dog, to be like bragging about. But yeah, look at this dude. That's him. Look at old Envy. Let's blow that up some. Yes, my Cash App is Carcino. And let's take a look. Look at how she got him on the book. That's the cover of the book. I'm going to give y'all a little preview of what's going to go down on the Patreon. Look how she got Envy on the book, y'all. He laying on the floor. She the one sitting. He said he laying on the floor. She under him. She's letting the world know, I control this. This is my hoe, and I'll run the show. That's what she's saying. She ain't saying this is my husband. When have you seen a husband laying on the floor? The husband's normally, the wife is sitting. I ain't saying the husband's sitting. The wife is sitting. The husband is standing up with his hand on her shoulder in a masculine position. The husband standing tall while his wife is sitting on the chair. He ain't laying on the damn floor like a trick. You in the kid's position. You're like her son. All to try to make this irrelevant woman something. And oh, we're going to divulge some of the things that were in the book that a lot of people didn't know about. But that's going to be on the Patreon. So so everybody who know the situation know that this ain't the Hollywood, like this ain't nothing that Ty didn't feel he couldn't get in there and do something with. Oh, Tyrese will spin it and say, you took my compliments as me trying to flirt with you and you misunderstood my message. I was given positive reinforcement because of some of the things you've told me that you were missing in your life. I tried to provide that, to give you that confidence. And if you took that as me trying to be in your life on a romantic point of view, then I apologize for you assuming that that's what I meant by giving you positive reinforcement. It seems like everything I do is magnified, and it's okay for you to turn your back on me and my need. But the moment I do something in error, I'm lashed at, but it's okay. I'm used to it. You know, God has made me a servant to take these lashes. So I'm going to take these lashes, but I'm going to keep paying it forward, doing God's work. You know, this is how he's going to come. That everybody should know that's how Ty's finna come. You know he gonna spin it. You know he finna spin that, baby. You know he gonna spin it. That's what a master manipulator does. They gonna spin it. Absolutely. Thank you for joining. That's what he doing, Tisha. Here come the boom. Here come the boom. Here come the boom. Here come the boom. Hey, he said it'll work too. You know he finna come with that. But Envy created that because he's not being a man. He's been a punk about everything he's ever done. So when you've been a punk your whole life, like you said, simp God. He's one of the simp gods. This dude sit up there and simp it, and he just like, I'm just gonna say back. I ain't want to embarrass him. You ain't want to embarrass him, the man that you felt disrespected your wife. He was sitting right in front of you. You right there could have brought it up, but you ain't man enough to bring that up in front of him. You scared. You scared. You was scared, bruh. And all of y'all on social media, go hit up D Rose on IG and see if he hit y'all back. D Rose, the artist. That's DeeRose. That's D Rose, the singer. Go hit him back and see what he tells you. This man been trying to blackball this man out the business and everything. Nah, them my neighbors. Who's a bigger simp, Envy or Harvey? Both are simps, but who's the biggest one? I would probably have to say Envy. Envy the biggest simp. This dude still apologizing for cheating one time. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. I cheated one time. I'm sorry. I never do it again. I was losing myself, baby. I don't know what was I thinking. Thinking you wanted to get some ass. You just chose the wrong thing to get it with. Erica Mena. We used to call her Erica Meningitis. In Vegas. She was trying to get up with Floyd Mayweather at the time. I remember her. I used to be like, Erica Meningitis. Hey. Yeah, she was messing with somebody in the money team at that time. Or same time she was messing with Envy. Oh yeah, well, did you think I forgot when you was like calling yourself an artist in the music business? Ooh, let me get out of here, man, because I could get started and really start tearing some stuff up. All right, man, I'm gonna get out. Shouts out to everybody, man. Kwame Brown Bus Life, Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. Shouts out to my man. Welcome to HD with the 2 Eyes TV. Armando Black TV, Ticket doing this thing out there. And yes, we will be talking about Kenny Porter Jr. I was just letting all the information come out before I say something. It's not that I haven't heard it. It's your boy DJ Envy and Flipping MJ. It's your boy DJ Envy and Flipping MJ. It's your boy DJ Envy. He always says it. It's so phony. That's why it's Flipping MJ. That's how it used to go down. Thanks, Tish. Thank you for showing up. Right, we need more ladies to get involved. I heard a bunch of guys say some crazy stuff in here, like, man, just give them some and let them go. I'm like, let Ty live. Give him some. I'm like, she's married. Y'all want to? I played it out so y'all can hear the girl's whole story, so it wouldn't be convoluted. You get to hear how the process worked, how he was thinking through the whole process of manipulating this girl to try to get away from her husband. He's trying to get her away from the husband. The whole time, he didn't want nothing to do with her having that husband. Wanted them split up so he can have her. That's all he wanted. He wasn't thinking about, he about to ruin the whole artist, everything, the music. He didn't care about all that. He didn't want that guy out there at all. Well, Envy, yeah, he's in some hot water right now. You better hope he can prove that he ain't over there with old Flipping NJ. Oh, yeah. So I'm finna get the Patreon version up and going now about Envy and the wife. Oh, you. Whew. Oh, what's the video gonna be about with them two? Oh, it's if you ain't on my Casino for Life, it's right in the banner. It says Casino for Life Patreon. If you got the Patreon, the Patreon app is free to download. Get the Patreon app. You already missing out. You already missing out. Oh, I had to give Steve Harvey the business, Patreon style. See, I can get uncut over there. See, here I can't be uncut. I got to be on my best behavior. What this is going to be? Well, the title of it is going to be very precise. That DJ Envy and his wife are the bootleg Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. and we finna go all down that road. That's what it's about. So y'all finna get ready because this is finna go down. So let me go ahead and get ready so I can get that set up, and we finna go right now because it's finna kick off live. They probably showing an ad right now. That's right, Rob. We finna hit that Patreon and we finna get it cracking. Knock another one out the box.